Good afternoon, grown folks. Welcome to day 3 of my journey to recovery. Bilateral ACL tears, and back strain, and pain, and disc degeneration, and bulging disc, and all the things. And I have fibromyalgia too, so there's the pain in my shoulders when there's no reason for it. And there is an uptick of pain in my hips. That started while I was in therapy on Monday. One of the hamstring exercises they had me doing, when I was working on the left knee, I was feeling intense pain in my right hip. And so last night I got to sit at my kitchen table to eat dinner, which was beyond a blessing. It was beyond a blessing, and I'm so thankful for it. I'm so thankful for it. So where I am parked, I have to keep moving my car. I have to keep moving my car because I am literally driving today, y'all. And I'm only driving because we really need to expand our support system. So my husband needed to have oral surgery as part of his protocol for being on the transplant list. When I tell you to get on the transplant list, you have to be darn near healthy as an ox, it seems. And so anyone who is considering, understand they're going to give you a complete workup. They're not going to allow you to donate if there is a possibility that you could need a kidney yourself or something else could go wrong, because they do a very thorough workup. But yeah, so part of his protocol, he needed to have oral surgery, and we don't have a support system. Our baby girl's in college, and her car is in the shop right now. So I didn't want to have her try to come down on a bus. She has class, and she's on a pre-med track, so she needs to be in class. And so I just said, I have to take you. And my husband's like, what? I'm like, listen, sometimes you just do what you have to do. And I trust God that he is going to keep me. It was tough. I needed to go inside to use the restroom. And girl, they have a restroom inside the dental office, and then they have a restroom for the building, which is down 2 long deserted hallways next to the utility closet. It looks crazy and spooky, like just weird, right? And I'm like, what happens to a senior that needs to go to the bathroom? You gonna make them go all the way down there around the corner, down somebody must have blew it out or something horrible to make them want to make it a requirement for people to go around the corner. That's what I was trying to say. But I convinced them. I called in advance. If you know, you know. Tish is going to take care of all the things and prepare and call in advance and ask what I need to ask. So it was like, listen, I have some mobility issues and I need to use that bathroom that's inside the office. Yeah, I know about it because y'all used to let me use it. So they did, but just from the door to the restroom was a lot. It's a lot. So that was tough. I was already in pain, coming down the steps today was difficult, but I did it. Yeah, there's like a grunting that happens with it's a very sharp pain with coming down the steps, and then the mental capacity, right? The capacity, when I speak of capacity, I'm speaking of am I able to do this? Can you get through? I'm just gonna stay here. Am I able to do this? Am I going to fall? Those are all the things that go through my head when I'm on the steps, right? When you've fallen, something happens. Your confidence in yourself and the gravity and all the things, right? And when you get to a particular age, it's harder to recover from these things. I tore my ACL on the right back in 2009, I think it was. And I was not a candidate for reconstruction. I did have surgery for it closer to the end of my treatment, but that was in 2010. I was on crutches for a year. It was a lot. My doctor said, your recovery is going to be hell, and it was. So when you think about those things, you understand that as you age, your body doesn't recover as well. And ACL tears, hear me, they are ligaments. The arterial cruciate ligament is what the ACL stands for. That is a sports injury. Those are injuries that you would normally see in football players because they're doing a lot of cutting and things. For those that know me, you know I love to line dance. I love to bop. I love to step. And I haven't been able to do that without pain in a long, long time. After the ACL tear on the right back in 2009, I was able to get back to some line dancing, and I was limited, but not nearly as much as the fall in 2023. The fall in 2023, I never bounced back from that. There hasn't been any dancing or anything. Just hasn't happened. I think I did a 2-step at my cousin's funeral, at the repast, and it was a 2-step. It was very, very quick. But I have, with ACL tears, you lose your ability to pivot or to move your leg from side to side. And what happened was, when I slipped in a bathtub in 2023, it stirred up some things in the right knee with that ACL tear, because that wasn't reconstructed, right? And for those that don't know, when an ACL is reconstructed, they usually use an ACL or the ligaments from a cadaver dog. Go figure. So y'all know I'm a little creepy. I wouldn't have wanted that anyway, but if it would have made me better, I would have. So this time they told me, like, my only option is ACL surgery and or physical therapy. And I opted for the latter because I know I'm not strong enough right now. My legs are so weak. If I didn't lose muscle mass, if I didn't atrophy a bit, like my leg is literally, my left leg is literally smaller than the right, even when it's swollen, and it's just so weak. So if that wasn't my portion, then I would consider reconstruction. But knowing that is what I have going on, even the doctor was like, surgery could make you much worse. I can't do that right now. My husband needs a kidney transplant. I couldn't even think about me. That just wasn't an option. He could get a call any day for a kidney transplant. And I am his caregiver. I would be his caregiver. No, I'm not his caregiver now. In fact, he's my caregiver. I'm so thankful that he is still healthy and strong. In fact, I think I will encourage him to chronicle his journey, because he is a bit of an anomaly in this chronic kidney disease space, but I'll stay focused. So with the ACL tear, you lose your ability to pivot, move side to side, and there's a lot of instability in your legs. Like you just feel like, so I've already had back issues. True story. My back went out 1999. I lived alone. We had the old school phones. The phone was mounted on the wall. I had a red phone on the wall in my kitchen, and a phone with a cord. Like, we did have cordless phones back then, but my phone in my kitchen was a corded phone on the wall. I walked into my kitchen, I sneezed, and fell out on the floor. True story. I laid there for what seemed like an eternity. I just could not understand what happened. What just happened? Why am I on the floor? Why am I in all this pain? I'm moaning. I lived alone. I could not call anyone. It was horrific. There was no Siri or what's it? Hello Google. It's Hey Siri, Hello Google, I believe. But none of that. So I had to finally get the strength to climb up on a chair, reach up on and call for help for someone to come to my home to get me to the hospital, find out what's wrong with me. And so as they're checking out my back, they told me I had some bulging disc and things going on. And they told me at that time that I needed to see a back surgeon. I was like really nervous. I don't want to see a back surgeon. No. But I went to the back surgeon, and the back surgeon told me a couple things, and I pray that this is helpful. The reason why I'm doing these videos, I'm prayerful that they will help you. The back surgeon told me, well, a couple things. One, that my spine it looked 10 years older than I was in 1999. I was in my 20s, just so you know. My spine looked 10 years older than I was. And that it wasn't going to be an if my back went out again, it would be a when my back went out again, unless I was very cognizant of keeping my core tight. I think they may need, sorry about that, y'all. Somebody's getting somebody in a wheelchair, so I want to make sure that they're good. What was that? I'm on a hill, so it was moving in a way I was not comfortable with. Okay. Sorry. So yeah, they told me it's not a win. It's not a if my back goes out again. It's a win unless I got my core tight. And so that's what I knew I was up against. And unfortunately, once I got married and had a baby, I was not as tight in my core as I had been before. It just wasn't. I gained more weight. I put on weight in my midsection. Like when I was pregnant, it was all belly. And so that core being tight thing is real, y'all. It's real. Make sure you keep your core tight because you will have back issues. I said all that to say that I do have back issues. I have bulging discs. I have herniated discs. I have discs laying on discs, and nerve damage from the discs. And I have spinal stenosis and some other things going on with my spine. So when I tell you that slip in the bathtub in 2023 changed my life, in that the pain that I had been experiencing in my back from 1999 forward, this was 10x easily. And when I think back on it, I think there was a motor vehicle accident I was in. It was a bizarre night. I was in this accident, and my car was being towed by AAA, and we were in a friend's car following the tow truck. Someone slammed into us so hard that they slammed into us so hard, and I was in the back seat. My roommate and I were in the back seat, and it wasn't my roommate at the time, but my college roommate. We got hit so hard. It was an SUV with a tire on the back. When I tell you the tire was caved in from the impact of that collision, right? So the tow truck driver says, it looks like y'all are having a really bad night, but the owner of this car has to go with me, or else I need to drop the car here. And that was just so messed up, because the person whose SUV I was in, it was his AAA that we were using to have my car towed. I didn't even have AAA at the time. I had an old car. I didn't have AAA. So I left the scene and went to take my car, right? We were having my car towed to my house. So I left with AAA to have my car towed to my house. Do you know, out of that accident, I was the only one that was legit hurt. Everyone else went to the ER because that's what some people do. But they said they tried to tell the police when they came that there was another person in the car and she got hurt too. But the police were like, if that person is not here, then there's no recourse for that. So in this time, I'm living, I didn't have the best health insurance. I might not have had health insurance at all. I was young and in my 20s, feeling like I was invincible. And it was a bad time. I was black and blue. I'm pretty light complected, but my legs are much lighter. I was black and blue all on my side. Because I was sitting sideways, I was just bruised up badly. I believe that accident, because I started having pain in my back, but it just wasn't as intense. I think that accident was the precursor for the sneezing and falling out on the floor. I think something was out of alignment from that accident, but it's all a myth. I will never know it to be true for sure, but I just couldn't understand why my spine was so old. And I wasn't like, I did jump hurdles, and I ran track, but I played basketball, but nothing that I would think that would mess up my spine like that. I'm just saying. But today, my story is, my back hurts. My hips hurt. The exercises that they have me doing for my knees hurts. My hips, my groin, my calves, and my back. It's tough. So I don't have therapy again until Friday. And I am prayerful that my pain will kind of simmer down. I picked Friday so I could have the weekend to relax and not need to do much. Can't do much anyway, but yeah. So I'm okay today. All that to say, I'm okay today. I'm okay. And I want to chronicle this journey because there are really days since this last fall that I haven't been okay. The fall in 2023, I wasn't okay. I wasn't okay mentally. I was overwhelmed with the amount of pain and what it meant for my mobility and my independence, right? And so to go back there to have the same injuries with my knees, and now my right knee is far more aggravated than it was back in June of 2023. So now that instability on both sides and my vision, which makes depth perception so difficult to gauge. It's tough sometimes. Sometimes it gets a little overwhelming. Sometimes I can get in my head like, oh my goodness, what is my life? Why is this my life? What has it turned into? And I just have to make sure that I stay encouraged and not allow myself to get overwhelmed. So chronicling each day, I think, is a good way to go back and look and see how I was able to get through this with grace. This is nothing but God, I promise y'all. I pray a lot. I listen to a lot of sermons. I'm trying to stay up. For real. All right, that's all for today. Day 3 in the books. May God bless and keep you. May heaven smile upon you. Be kind to one another now more than ever. You may never know what someone else is going through. Create a wonderful day. God bless.